Hello Cancer, welcome to the first reading of 2018. So first and foremost, Happy New Year, and this is your January 2018 reading. Really, I'm looking forward to seeing what is coming through for your sign and also just for the year in general. And we'll get a little bit of a taste of both as we look at this reading today. The one thing that I was picking up on as I selected a deck of cards and meditated over your sign was that the power of projection can be something that will either work very much in your favor or could be something that creates filters or blocks for you. So what do I mean by projection? For those of you that are familiar with manifesting and working towards your goals, one of the key things that you want to really be able to do is to imagine that whatever it is you're seeking, whether it's trying to arrive at a certain completion of a project, to try to pull in a certain type of person in your life, whatever it is, you should be able to fully see and feel and sense how that's going to be in your life. So if you can do that, if you can imagine, and if you can project that you're already on the path to that, then the momentum starts to pick up, and I did a video about that. However, if your own projections get in the way of the reality of the moment, sometimes there could be someone or something that's trying to help you, and you could have a negative projection, thinking, I can't do this, it's not going to happen, I have bad luck, I'm cursed, any of these things that sometimes we say, which are self-fulfilling, I might add, then you are going to block off some of the potential assistance that could be around. So I want you to check negative assumptions, negative projections, and try to turn them around and think what you want to do, not what you couldn't do in the past, what you want to do in the future, and assume for this moment that it's possible. That simple act in and of itself opens your energy to possibilities. So play around with this month, but your visualization, your projection can be very powerful, but it can also be distracting. So you want to keep it in check, and you want to make sure that you're still open to perceiving opportunities and feedback, because those subtle hints, those subtle bits of feedback can really save you difficulty along the way and also help prevent an unnecessary outcome. So just really remain open and observant. All right, let's go ahead and get into the general reading now, taking a look at the Celtic Cross, and then we'll also expand that to include a Catalyst card. And the Catalyst card, for those of you that are new, that really helps tie together what I'm pulling here in the center. After that, I expand it to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Let me pause now and just pay attention as I pull all of the cards and see what message is coming through. And let's look at your Catalyst as well, and then I'll tie all of these things together for you. So as we look at your Catalyst this month, it's a beautiful card actually. This is, for me, it's a sense of security. The turtle is very powerful, it's very self-sufficient, and has its own sort of protection built in. But a few things that you have to consider are the speed with which things are happening are going to be sort of perhaps feeling like they're slow or lethargic, or that you can't control them. You want to rush through them. This card is saying, don't hurry up. Let things happen in the proper order. Assume that cosmically things are starting to unfold in just the right time and just the right place. So exercise patience. Protect yourself when and if appropriate, but also make sure that you're not hiding from something, because sometimes there are hermit cards that are represented by the turtle. So I'm going to read this as a subtle hermit card, which means that you don't want to close yourself off. You want to be transparent with communication, and you also want to make sure that people in your life are also being open and transparent as well. So as we look at the center of this spread, there's definitely a lot of changes going on when it comes to both emotions and money, but centrally speaking, it's money. We have the Five of Pentacles in the center, and one thing that this has to do with, outside of money, I should actually say first, is relationships with parents. And in our deep past here, we have the Emperor card. So any sort of paternal relationships, or even if you have a mom that's sort of like the matriarch of the family and has a very strong sort of masculine energy, there could be some relationships with your mother that could be presenting themselves this month, or with your father. You really want to be paying close attention to them, helping them if you can, or forgiving them or releasing the energy surrounding these relationships, because that could affect the rest of your month. So try to resolve anything that is holding you back from your past. And again, I think it starts with forgiveness. And if that's not the case, then this Five of Pentacles card has to do with your relationship with your self-worth and also with your money. And if there's any setbacks that you felt recently, maybe unexpected medical costs, maybe a renovation that you didn't want to do but you had to do, or some other sort of investment, the Five of Cups on top of the Five of Pentacles is encouraging you to look at the possibilities, not so much on how much you had to invest or pay down a bill or whatever it was. There's been some sort of unexpected expenditure, or maybe you're just dissatisfied with where you're at. This card is saying focus on the future. And I love this because I'm going to read this as either, it could be autumn or spring, but the period of time of waiting, usually when you enter either of those seasons, is about anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending where we're at. But let's imagine it's spring because of the color of the grass here. So if that's the case, give yourself 2, 3, 4 months for this to start to turn around. Don't expect it to change this month. That is what the turtle's saying. It took a while for things to happen. It'll take a while for things to be fixed. So if it's a relationship, it's not going to mend itself overnight. You're going to have to work at it. Both of you are going to have to work at it. If it's a money situation, same thing. Over time heals everything. Bad credit scores, paying off debt, saving up for the future. So don't put an unrealistic expectation on yourself with your money, and don't expect things to change overnight. Make small changes, and in the long run, you'll start to see improvement and look back and think, oh my gosh, I don't know how it happened so quickly, but while you're going through it, it feels like it's forever. The other thing here that I'm sensing is that some of you may need to increase your activity, because whenever I see the Emperor card, particularly since he's in the deep past here, it's speaking to a sedentary lifestyle, and the Five of Pentacles has to do with that not being good for you. That's could be affecting your extremities, particularly your legs, your feet, your ankles. So if you have any sort of history of joint issues or diabetes or anything that might, even rheumatoid arthritis, whatever might be hitting those areas, you want to start to stretch, work with your doctor, of course, but focus on your fitness and making sure that you're standing up enough to avoid any sort of unnecessary health complications there. All right, now let's take a look at where you're headed. This is sort of more what you're feeling and where you've been. As I'm looking at your recent history here, we have the King of Pentacles here, which shows me that there are going to be more resources on the horizon for you. And if they haven't already arrived, they should arrive in the next few months. So this is a period of stagnation, which should be followed by a period of growth for you. So patience is required. Thinking outside of the box and trying different things is also going to be required, but knowing that there's no quick fix. That's the note here for this. When I'm looking at things, however, this is a perfect time for you to start to rebuild. So sometimes when we're faced with a period of waiting, this Tower card in reverse is saying this is a good time for self-improvement. And the King of Pentacles is a card of investing within yourself. There's a little bit of a self-focus with the King of Pentacles. Sometimes I would even say selfish, but not considering what's surrounding this. So I would say this is a good time for training, and it's a good time for enrichment, a good time for reading, and also, like I said, a good time for just creating a new physical routine that's going to feed the rest of your life. There could be a change of work for some of you, or living situation, because the Tower card sometimes is taking away what we would see as stable or as predictable and replacing it with something that's unknown. However, I see King of Cups here in the near future. Some of you, that Tower card could be fantastic and could indicate moving in with somebody new, or going after some sort of a goal that you've been really hoping and waiting and wanting to have manifest, and now this is your chance to make it happen. So embrace the change and see how you can shift it to work to your advantage. Okay, so we talked about needing to be patient, needing to be flexible with what's going on. The one thing that I see as a really bright shining star for this month is your communication skills seem to be off the charts as far as positive ability, and also something that you can really use to your benefit. So anything where you're having an opportunity to either speak in front of a group, lead a group, execute on something that you've been working for a long time, this is a good month for completion, for conversation, and also for any of you that might need to do something legal, sign a contract, challenge something in a court of law, or look at something again from a contractual point of view, this is a good month for that for you. And I think this is going to help you also with negotiations for future earnings, for again contract negotiations. That sort of thing is actually quite good this month. We have the 9 of Pentacles here, which is a card of self-sufficiency, and I see you moving towards that. That's what's in your horizon, and it's actually in your environment right now, but it will be in your horizon because of the nature of this card. So keep working on improving your money, keep rebuilding, and that's really what the Tower is saying. The 2 reverse cards, this is saying work on building a stronger foundation with your money, with your work, with your reputation. If you do that, this card turns around and you start to have more than enough. And this is one of the best cards for more than enough. If I'm looking for someone who's ready for retirement, I want to pull the 9 of Pentacles. I'd love to pull the Ace, I'd love to pull the 10, but the 9 is good. This shows me that you can take care of yourself. And so you're headed towards that. And when we look at that projection goal that we talked about earlier, this is what you want to see yourself as, is self-sufficient, someone that you can rely on as your own person, and that's going to call in better situations overall. All right, when I'm looking at hopes and fears, just a general note not to let your emotions pull you into a state of disarray. If you can go with the momentum and with the positivity, it's going to take you a lot further than if you start to feel the sense of dread. And for those of you that might be empathic, you've actually probably felt this before. It can almost, sometimes it feels like you're putting your finger in an outlet and everything lights up, but not in the best way, or you feel this heaviness. So if you feel anything like that this month and you are empathic, and even if you're not, what I want you to focus on is really making time for deep breathing. Yoga is great, but not everyone can afford it. So if you need to just sort of practice something every day that could help you, you could start off the day with 10 deep breaths, and you could tell yourself with each breath, I'm ready for whatever today is going to bring me. I'm working towards whatever goal we were talking about earlier here. You could say, I'm working towards this goal. I see improvement here. I release the need to try to control everything. I'm going to place my trust in the universe and in cosmic timing. I ask for patience and for support and for safety. You could just put out all of these positive affirmations in the morning and charge them with the momentum of a breath. So you want to take that deep breath and then say your prayer or your affirmation or your projection. And as I look at what this whole month is about for you, it's about eventually building this sense of community. And that's why it's so important for you to resolve some of these issues that might be existing in the past with parents or authority figures. That's why it's also important for you to feel that you can take care of yourself. Once you've done that, then you're going to be able to support people around you with the 10 of Cups. This card was reversed, however, so what I want you to exercise this month is healthy boundaries. And this isn't about saying no to everything. This is really about making sure that if you give to people, they're also giving back. There should be reciprocity. And if that doesn't happen, or if you feel like for some reason someone is taking too much from you, you need to then say no and put on the brakes. So healthy limits are going to help you. Focusing on rebuilding your finances or strengthening, fortifying, because that can also be what the reversal in this card is about. And knowing that whatever you experience, whether it was a punctuated high or a low, you're really trying to get back into stability, and you're going to be much stronger with that phoenix there in the horizon. All right, let's expand your forecast now to look at your health card. I see health as all inclusive. It's not just focusing on your physical well-being, but also on your spiritual and your mental well-being. Let's go ahead and just let the card speak for itself, however, and see what wants to come through. And the message this month is exactly what I was just talking about with deep breathing. The main thing I want you to think about with meditation, because sometimes people wonder, really, how is this helping? Besides the obvious benefit of sort of getting rid of any sort of negative energy that you might be holding on to, and also amplifying your own signal, think of yourself, of your body, of your aura, of your third eye, kind of as a satellite. Each time that you meditate, you increase the capacity of that satellite. You increase the size, the energy going into it, and more importantly, the energy it can receive. Satellites both send and receive. So this is your chance to listen to your higher self, listen to the universe, project, and now you're going to be projecting positivity out rather than the fear. And the fear can be very palpable, and it can unexpectedly pull you down. So I want you to focus on positivity this month, and also just active listening. because if there are any sort of things that you have to be aware of, any sort of criticisms, any sort of course corrections, they're going to make themselves very clear during that meditation period. Let's take a look now at your wealth card, which it's not necessarily so much just about the money, but it's about the emotions and the motivation surrounding money. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your life, this can give you some advice. So your money card this month, your wealth card, is about doing the research, becoming as well educated as you can about any particular investment that you might be interested in, any sort of spending habit or quick fix, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you've done your homework so that you enter in it with a full sense of knowledge and security. So this is also speaking to tried and true investments, if that's something that you're looking at, something that has a history of performing well. So do your research, talk to somebody, and ultimately you want to become the sage here. So this is going to require some work on your part. So if you're at a place in your life where, again, it doesn't necessarily, Five of Pentacles doesn't always equal debt. It can just feel like you don't have a handle on your money, or you're not able to hold on to it or to manifest it as quickly as you'd like. So study up on ways to improve your business acumen so that that is no longer something that you're feeling. This is just a sort of subtle hint that you can probably do something to either improve or to fortify. All right, let's take a look now at your love and relationships, I should say, and see what the main message is for this. And for love and relationships, we have power dynamics. The card's reversed, so focusing on reclaiming power and also balancing power between you and others. Very simple on this one. Let's now take a look at your trajectory card. I call this destiny, and it's really your GPS. Are you happy with where you're headed over the next year? And I think in this month in particular, the destiny card's important because it's setting the tone for the next year. So let's see what your big opportunity is in 2018. And so if there was any doubt with the single tower that I got and the reversal of that tower, this is basically showing me this is a year when you can change almost anything about your life if you'd like. But particularly areas of money, work, and then how you define who you are. These are the things that we can change. So if you're not happy with your career, you could restart it. If you're not happy with where your money's at, you can fix it. If you're not happy with the way people are perceiving you, you could start to work on your brand, your reputation, whatever applies most to you. So your trajectory it's already changing, and I don't think you can really affect the changes here, but what you could do is embrace them. And it's very good to have the tower in reverse. And a lot of times people don't like that I read reversals. I could not imagine not reading reversals because it extends your alphabet of knowledge and opportunities twofold. And if I use all of these cards together, there's so many nuances that I can get. I love the double confirmation of the tower here in reverse, showing me rebuilding, and it's basically a year of opportunity for you. So I want you to embrace that idea that you can create new foundations, you can fortify things because now you know that you are creating something that you believe in, or you can fix things if there's something that you're not happy about. That's really the potential of 2018, which is very exciting, actually. So I look forward to seeing how that unravels for you this year. Let's go ahead quickly and review this, and then we'll wrap up the reading for today. As I said at the beginning, your power of projection. And now as we kind of looked at your health card, it's really about your meditation this month and this year. Thinking about what you want, allowing for that to come in, listening for signs, and looking for signs along the way. Knowing that this change, even though we've got a double tower, as I was reading, it's not going to happen in a way that's off-putting. This will be slow and steady, and you should exit this year in a completely different place than where you started, which is great, in whatever area you want to improve. So put the work in, and you should see the results. If you don't put the work in, free will always trumps what I'm reading, and it won't happen, but you've got this potential, this great potential to really make this a game-changing year for you. As we look at the other cards here, I did get a sense of what for some of you may seem frustrating here, because the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles are showing slow improvement, particularly when it comes to work and money. But yes, we got the turtle here, which is sort of supporting that, but it's change nonetheless, so be patient with that. Keep your emotions in check, and good things should come to you this year. Put proper limits, though, when it comes to people in your life that might be taking too much, particularly emotionally. And if you can focus on putting more time and energy into your own skills, particularly your skills with money, then I see a lot of growth and improvement. Your communication is in a really great place this month, so if you have to have a difficult conversation, I think you can do it. For some of you, that might mean healing a relationship with a parent, guardian, or authority figure in your life. For others, just a general note to be more active. As we expanded the forecast, I already talked about the power of meditation, of expanding that satellite dish that we all have, becoming as educated as you can about the finances and work opportunities that exist within your life. For some of you, this might be going back to get your high school diploma, your college education, or some sort of certification, whatever it is that you want. Equalizing power dynamics, particularly again with parents and authority figures or a boss in your life. Finally, the potential of this year is rebuilding. The tower reversed is all about opportunities. Once it's reversed, you're going to be able to stand tall and be proud about all of the changes that you effected over the course of 2018. So, with that being said, I hope that this gave you the information and encouragement you needed to make the most of what, like I said, looks like a game-changing month and year for you. I'm really excited for your sign overall. If you'd ever like more one-on-one advice just about how all of this pertains to you, I offer those kinds of appointments on my website, and you can check below. I have several new time slots too that you can look at, and time length, so feel free to kind of see if any of those work for you. If you'd like to just support this channel because you find readings like this or meditations that I do helpful, it would be much appreciated. I have a lot of ways that you can do that, either through a one-time donation, something as small as $1, to a monthly recurring donation, also as small as $1. That makes a big difference and makes videos like this possible. I'd love for you also to stay in touch if you're on any sort of social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I also have a newsletter. Links to all of this they're going to be in the description area below, so feel free to explore that if you'd like. But I like to end most importantly with a note of gratitude. And as we're coming to the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018, this beautiful nexus of the 2 years, I want you to continue to embrace this change that you've created within yourself, to grow, to explore, and to continue to be a beautiful light worker in this world. We need more of those right now. So keep up the self-work and the development. I'm really proud of you, and I'm so happy that I could be some small part of that. Wishing you much light, love, and prosperity over the course of 2018. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.